Good morning, everybody. It is a nice morning here in Texas. It's a foggy morning here in Texas, and this sunrise coming up is just so beautiful. Have a look at that. Look at that. Man, that's nice, ain't it? Well, I've got the excavator going here, and I wanted to clean up around this pond. I may have already told before, I had started digging out and cleaning and making some little channels off this pond. I didn't want just a round pond. I wanted to have some like little offshoots off of it. So I made one here by me before, and I was cleaning out some shallow water over here at this end before and piling up the dirt, and I had one big mountain of dirt over here. But then we had rain coming. We had went through a time that it just seemed like it never stopped raining, but now you know how weather does. Now it's the opposite. We've had no rain, and this thing's probably 4 foot down right now. So my excavator didn't want to start in the past. So whatever it is, it's running now. I hit the key, it just fires right up. And I'm happy for that. So I checked all the fluid yesterday, and I got out and did a little work yesterday evening before it turned dark. But then this morning when I got up, they're talking about we have a chance of thunderstorms coming, and that will stop me again from being able to get out here and dig, because once it turns slick and slimy, it's over with. So I told Melinda, no matter what else we have going on, I need to take this opportunity and get on that excavator, because there's a road going to my building back here at the back that's got to have a culvert put in, and get all that addressed so that we can drive up where we're supposed to over there. So I'm gonna take this opportunity and get on the excavator and get busy. But man, I tell you what, I sure am liking this foggy, beautiful morning. Look at this, look at that. Look at that. I wanna point out something to you all. You see that big old hedge of willows? Where's my finger at here? Yeah, you see that big old hedge of willows right there? I planted those there out on a little island just for the sole purpose of giving me like a privacy screen from the road, from my renters up front and all, to my building back there. And man, have they grown like crazy. That big old building, you can barely see the ends of it sticking out. Man, oh man. And we're talking about, let's see, 50 plus 20, we're talking about 70 foot across there, and you can only see just a little bit of it. I'm pretty happy for that. That's exactly what I wanted. Of course, they'll lose leaves during the winter, but still, it's pretty nice to have. So I did a little work last night down this left-hand side that you're seeing right here, and getting that just sediment that's came in on this end right here where the water comes into the pond. And you can see right there how it's cleaned out down through there. But this right here, this is what I want to go around while it's low, get up close, reach out there and pull that out. I've just found that really shallow waters like that I've had a lot of problem of. The sun can really reflect fast when it gets hot in Texas, you know, here. Heats that water up on that end, and it makes my pond evaporate faster. And it's a place that predators like these birds, these cranes, will light in there and stand, and they'll just harvest my fish, as well as other creatures as well want to hang out up in there, including snakes as well. So I want to eliminate those really shallow waters, give it a little bit more depth in there, and I'll create artificial zones differently, like with logs and brush piles and all, that the fish can get in and get protection and cover and breeding, instead of just places like that right there. Well, there's my old excavator, and it is ready to do some work. Man, I'm out of breath. Man. So I was getting on this excavator and I looked down in the water down there and I could see, looks like some sheets of metal that go to my building. And I thought before we went to the Philippines that I was missing some. And I was. So I could see it shining through down there on the water. I got down there, I was able to get one of them out, but the other one, it's got a layer of moss now over the top of it, a layer of mud, and man, it was heavy to pick up. I've been down on my hands and knees, struggling, trying to get it broke loose, and the suction of water pulling it back down. I got one, but I can't get the other one. I am out of breath yanking, trying to take a shovel, working there and break moss off the top. It's been there for months. We had a surprise storm blow up one day while we were working. We had a lot of sheets secured, but man, when you get those straight line winds that hit like 85 miles an hour and higher, that it's gonna blow something away. And I guess it blew those away and we didn't see them because they went in the water. So I'm gonna try to recover that out of there. I don't want to leave it in, and if I can clean it up, I can still use it. But I'm gonna see if I can gently take the end of this bucket without damaging that sheet and take one of those teeth on there and slide down the top of it and see if I can get that moss to come off, or maybe even be able to hook into the end of it and kind of lift on it a little bit. We'll see. I don't know if I can save it or not, but I'm gonna try. Man, I tell you what else, this thing needs a bath on the windows. All right, love listening to the sound that Cummins purr, boy. Love it. I told you I got one dirty window right now. I'm gonna have to get the power washer to this thing. Be kind of crippled here. I can't really hold the camera and film it because I don't have it on the GoPro right now. Is moving. I don't know if I'm bending it or not, but I moved it. Maybe I broke it loose enough I can get in there and grab it. I really don't want to bend it up with this claw. There's no way to be finessed with a piece of tin. Alright, little time lapse here. I'm whooped. I spent about the past 15 minutes trying to get that out of there. Definitely hooking that with the bucket real slow with those teeth. Lodged it loose from a lot of the moss and the suction on bottom. It had a layer of silt on top. I bet that one piece weighed 300 pounds. But believe it or not, I did not even bend it. It looks like it'll be in good shape. It just needs a bath. I'll take my little power washer and clean it. I'll show you here. See if I can turn this excavator around and give y'all a little look here. There's about a 14-foot sheet covered in mud, suction, and layers of moss over the top of it. If it had rained anymore, it would have been hit again. I wouldn't even known those were down in there. Well guys, I've been doing some digging and digging and digging here. If you remember earlier when I was getting that sheet metal out of that hole, that was just a little channel along there. I removed that whole point from out there going across down yonder. The pond curved around and went way up over there. I removed that whole point to straighten this out to come into my building right here. The way that tank dam curved around, it was going to put the approach from my driveway, my road coming back here, way up too close to the building. I need to get it moved over further that way. I'm still working on moving this dirt. I overstacked more than I needed, and because I need to transfer some other places, so it's kind of built up high right now. I'll get that shaved level and keep bringing it around right here and build this pad up more right in here. But I got quite a bit done, and I need to go do a few other things, and if the rain holds out, I'll work on it more. If it don't, I'm happy to get that part down in there, because this here can start drying out. The rain will even beat it out, and I can work it on in a little bit more with the excavator and then with my tractor and front end loader. But I'm pretty happy. Not only did I straighten up the approach so far, but as well, I got a bunch of sludge dug out and threw it over to the back side over there so it can be drying, and just kind of got it cleaned up. Got a little bit more shaping that I need to do along that bank, but I can do that as I move back around over here and just keep working it over. I've got this huge oak tree right here that's dying. It's such a shame that it's slipping away. Each year there's less leaves. It's got these little small twigs growing all out on the branches. That's just a sign of it dying right there. The wood breaks really easy. So it'd be a matter of time this will become firewood, and I'll miss it because it's been a beautiful tree right here. And I'll never be able to grow one back that size in my lifetime that's left. So I'm really gonna miss this tree when it's gone. Yeah, so this pond, I'll tell you the deal with it. I dug this pond when I had it built. I had it dug very, very deep. In fact, they had to cut a long channel, a long path to even get the dozer and the rubber tire loader to come up out of there. Well, my father was over here farming, and he kept plowing the fields and plowing the fields, and he would get so happy on that tractor just plowing away. He would plow all the way up to the water. Run those discs as close as he could to the water. And it would rain, all that silt would go into the bottom of my pond. And then he would take, out of all the property we had everywhere, all the ponds we had everywhere, he would have to take and pin his cows up around my pond, because I'm the one that paid for all this. He didn't. And he'd pin them up in there. Well, when a cow comes up drinking, their feet every time are pushing and pushing mud forward, and pushing mud forward, and their hooves, that big old hole, and it's pushing forward, day in, day out, cows pushing forward. And man, he about filled my pond in. So a few years ago, when the water was exceptionally low, I dug a bunch out, and then each time I've caught in between there, each time that water gets low, I dig more out. Yeah, I could have drained the pond, but I had a lot of really nice fish in there, and I didn't want to lose them. But I've learned something else too, and I think I've already talked about this in the video already, but I'll reiterate it again. I found if you left a big area of shallow water, and where it gets really hot here in Texas, that sun will penetrate right through that water and heat it up super fast. And that makes real fast evaporation. That sets off algae and all growing just almost out of hand. And then when the water's not very deep, that algae, these different plant life and all in the pond, will grow in the bottom and come up to the top and bloom and really make a mess as well. So birds, I know I've already covered this, so I'll just say it again, reiterate. Birds too, those cranes with those long legs, they'd stand out there and just wipe out my fish in that shallow water, just wipe them out. And then also when you had all those weeds, it seemed to attract snakes as well. Snakes like to get in that shallow water, those weeds, grab frogs, grab small fish, and that shallow water's had to go. So I've been going around digging it out as far as I can reach all the way around this pond. Not trying to get it too deep, but I am over digging initially in the beginning, going past what I need, because I know I'm not hitting that pan in the bottom. That pan's on down in there deeper from the initial build of this pond. But I'm going a little bit more than probably I need, so that I have a little bit more room for sediment again. Now, I do a no plow. Since Dad let me take over operations several years ago, and then now he's also passed, I choose to do a no plow. And I don't have that problem with that runoff. Also, on this particular pond here, I don't let the livestock in around it, and very seldom. I might up on an occasion let them up in here, but it's very seldom. And to try to protect the investment that was put into this pond, because it was quite a bit of money actually. It wasn't just a tiny little stock pond. And so that's the story with that. And maybe that advice can help any of you if you're thinking and working around doing this. You know, don't plow near to your ponds. Stay far away. Keep a good healthy grass like coastal or something growing in front of it. Don't overcut it and scalp it right there either. Come out and leave yourself like a natural erosion control in there. So that's the advice I can give you on that. That's from my personal experience on dealing with these stock ponds. I noticed too that when I had a little bit more deep water, that I got some more favorable fish. And for instance, I grew crappie in here. I don't know if I can find the pictures or not. I'll try, but if I may not be able to. But I grew crappie off in this thing that was out of this world for a small pond. And they did really well. White crappie, black crappie as well, and bass. Oh my God! I put cedar tree piles in here, and only in a specific location, so I know where they're at, and I know to not fish that spot because you're going to get hung up. But you can fish near that spot, and they'll come out of there, and you can grab one of them old big jaw suckers. So another thing I noticed is that with the deeper water, the water stay cooler even during the summertime. That water would still be cold underneath. I go out there and jump in it, and man, just 5-6 foot down below right there, the water would be just as cold. But when you would go up towards those more shallow ends, the water was really, really warm. And that's one of the reasons I know how that would be. And man, I just know it was making that water drop fast. But I seemed to do really good with fish. I just made some artificial breeding spots in there, like say brush piles. I try to use something like cedar. It seemed to last longer in the water. If you throw something like these old hackberries or something, they're just going to rot, and you're just filling your pond in more stuff to snag on. Another thing about those cedar limbs is they would seem to really lock together with each other, and they didn't want to like drift all over the pond everywhere. So another thing that I did is that I put some round culverts down in there, some cement culverts. I strategically placed them at some different spots. The catfish seem to breed good in those, and that was a plus also. I try to put them on the end away from the silting, so I try to keep them towards the dam side, towards the deep end, and we placed them down in there hoping they wouldn't silt in immediately, and that seems to work out pretty good too. I've tried to keep mudcat out here the best that I can, man. They just keep the water churned up dirty all the time. I have put channel cat, and I haven't seemed to have the problem with the water muddying up with the channel cat. Well, I'm gonna get off here and get on to some other things, and we'll see if what goes on with the day. There might be more video past this, and if not, I'm just gonna wish y'all a good day. I hope maybe you can learn something from our mistakes, and that's what I'm here for. Try to share and learn from you guys, and also maybe I can share my mistakes with you. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope all of you are having a wonderful, blessed day.